Hey you guys, so today we're going to be talking again about the throat chakra, and as you can see, I was driving, this came to me right now, and today we're going to be talking about authenticity when it comes to your throat chakra. Now, why am I talking about authenticity? Because a lot of people think that they're authentic as hell, right? They think that they're super authentic, but they never really look at their ego when it comes to evaluating their own authenticity. What do I mean by that? Maybe you're one of those people who is perpetually nice and you help everyone around you and you really want to, expand other people's well-being, but you always end up getting the short end of the stick. Maybe people don't really appreciate you, maybe people take advantage of you, maybe because of something else, you're good and you don't get that in return, right? Well, a lot of times when I get patients that come into the shop and they're like, I don't understand why everyone around me is so negative, I don't understand why I'm always giving and nothing ever comes back in return. The first thing I stop and I ask them is, why is it that you give so much? Are you giving because authentically you expect nothing out of it? Or are you giving because you're hopeful that someone's going to come around, recognize that, and then kind of like, have some equivalent exchange for it, right? And usually most people will tell me, well, I do it in hopes of having someone treat me in the same way, right? That's not being authentic. If you're being nice, if you're being kind, if you're being 100 and you're authentically just in it to help other people, there should be no return that comes out of it, right? And that's one of the things that really strikes a lot of people in a lot of different ways, because you think you're authentic, but you really have to sit down and authentically look at yourself and be like, the things that I do, why do I do them? Is it because I need recognition? Is it because I'm looking for a special someone to share my life with? What is it that is driving me to do what I do? Whether it's my art or being kind to others or helping myself. Why is it that I do what I do, right? And in the first episode of this Chakra Alchemy class, I was really pointing out like that question of why, right? Why? That's one of those questions that is going to come up anytime you're going to do authenticity work with yourself, or you're going to be really analyzing the root causes of a lot of things that are happening. Now, if you're someone who does fit into this category of everyone's always taking advantage of me because I'm so kind, and then you realize that, hey, it's because alternatively I always want someone to treat me. It's like a trade. Like, I'll give you something if you give me something in return, and you hope for something to come back in return. That right there is the problem. That's why people continuously are treating you like crap and not taking advantage of your divinity, right? And really reciprocating that. The reason why is because there's something inside of your subconscious, and I'm gonna guess it's your solar plexus chakra, which your solar plexus chakra is tied to your mind, shame, your inner child. A lot of people who are really kind and they share their wisdom with a bunch of different people, and they want to give to the world, usually are people who have had some sort of serious experience with their inner child, which then forces them to distort like how natural, healthy relationships should work, right? And this is one of those things where, a lot of times people will tell you, you don't need anyone to be everything that you are. You don't need another partner. You don't need anything. You are complete as it is, right? Well, when you're being kind to others in expectance of them being kind to you, you're not complete. You're basically saying that in order for you to be well taken care of, in order for people to treat you well, that they have to recognize that you have treated them well and that they will give to you. When you kind of let go of that limitation altogether, you literally end up seeing for yourself that people are kind to you just because they want to be kind to you, and that you have now the power to be kind to others and not be taken advantage of, because you understand that deficiency that was inside of you that was creating that pattern outwardly. This is the hardest part for a lot of people. A lot of people won't sit down and be like, oh, that's not me. A lot of people will also sit down and try to justify, I'm a light worker, that's why I'm so kind, and it just comes with the territory. No, it doesn't. Like, there are people who, yeah, definitely, they're going to be rude to you no matter if you're a light worker or whatever. But ultimately, the types of patients and the types of people that you interact with authentically are just another vibration of you. You watching this video right now is yourself talking to yourself through a video. It just looks like I'm another person talking to you, right? And I am watching myself right now through you talk about this same concept, right? So it's when you start really realizing that this is how authentically your universe works, when you can come down to yourself and understand that you don't need anything other than yourself, that you don't expect anything out of anyone other than what you deliver into the world, then that really gives you true, authentic vibration within yourself, okay? And you always have to really look at the fact that one of my great friends, and you've probably seen him on my Patreon or in my Instagram, Rashawn Massey, like he is so wise. And one day he told me, because a long time ago I was struggling with, like people not having common courtesy, and he was like, no one owes you courtesy. Courtesy is something that you give to people just because you decide to be kind, but no one owes you courtesy for anything. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And it was my expectation of like, okay, I always live my life in a certain fashion where if I know I'm not going to show up somewhere, I'll at least message you 20, 40, 2 hours beforehand telling you that I cannot make it to wherever it is that I'm making it. Some people don't do that, and that would really strike me the wrong way and be like, oh, this person doesn't value my time, my experience. They have no common courtesy. Like, what kind of animal is this person, right? Is what I would think back in the day. And now I definitely see that it was because I was expecting common courtesy because I was giving common courtesy, right? But wait, what about the golden rule? Treat others the way you would like to be treated. Doesn't that somehow resonate and bring back our own truth? You're right. You should always treat others the way you would like to be treated. The problem comes when you expect other people to treat you that way. That's not you being authentic. The mantra itself says to live the life that you would want to constantly express for any other soul, right? You're living your full authentic vibration of the all, or God, which is you treating each person as you would treat yourself. But if you let go of that concept for yourself and you allow each other person to do that, those people are living a life where they'll treat other people the way they treat themselves. And not everyone treats themselves kindly. That's why you run into people who don't have courtesy, because they don't have courtesy for themselves. They don't process courtesy in their reality. So how are they going to give courtesy to anyone else? They don't respect themselves. How can they respect anyone else? They're not kind to themselves. So how could they express kindness to anyone else? How could they live that golden rule? And when you look at the golden rule and you stop holding it as like this mainframe to justify your life, right? Because I definitely am one of those people. I live the golden rule. I will tell you, I want people to come to me and tell me the truth. Like, Axel, this is what's going down. You need to fix this. That's exactly what I deliver to everyone. But I also know that not everyone's going to come up to me and tell me, this is what you need to work on, right? Only my closest friends are willing to do that. And I'm okay with that. I understand that some people are not willing to be real with themselves, let alone real with somebody else. I cannot fault them because they are essentially living the golden rule for themselves. That's their authentic vibration. And when you live in authenticity and you understand these concepts of like, you can only control your expansion of free will into your reality and create something amazing from that, when you really understand what that means to you, whether it's asking yourself why or being able to see that like you live the golden rule and each other person is living the golden rule regardless of whether or not they're living it the way you perceive it, you can then start living a more authentic life, because then you let go of attachments, and attachments cause ego, and ego with attachments cause suffering, which would be you being one of those people constantly giving and never getting anything back from those people. The next thing is like, okay, if you're an authentic person and this is one of those situations where you're always constantly giving to other people but no one really gives back to you, Why do you continue to give the way you give? There's nothing wrong with giving, but why are you giving the way you give? Why? And when you answer that, why? The whole entire reason is because maybe your way of giving is not healthy for you and your reality. And that sometimes is hard, because maybe you want to give everything because that's just your vibration, but at the same time, it's not helping you out. So maybe you need to curtail and remodify authentically how you should be giving, so you are taken care of. Because remember, no one else is really going to take care of you other than yourself. You may have community, but ultimately your ascension is your own responsibility. Your consciousness training is your own responsibility. No one else can do that. You can go to another healer. Hey, the healer can help you make massive balance, especially if you come with me. Like, I will do all this alchemy that will shift your life and like that. But ultimately, I tell everyone, if you don't maintain this, if you're not constantly analyzing who you are, what your reality counts for, be real with not only yourself, but your reality. Be authentic with your reality. What is actually happening around my reality? So-and-so is not a good friend. So-and-so drains my energy because they're a vampire. Maybe I've been given so much to this person and this one person never gives back to me. Maybe whatever it is, right? It can be internal or external, but you have to be authentic with it. The last thing I want to point out with authenticity, some of us are wanderers or star seeds, right? We came to Earth because Gaia asked us to come here and help her because humans were not taking care of her, and now we're in human bodies. Some of us are like, I know I have a greater purpose, but I don't know what that purpose is, right? Because you forgot at some point. The reincarnation, it happens to all of us. You know, some of us remember sooner than others, like myself. Some of us, it takes us years and years and years to get to this point of understanding that that's who we are. And regardless of when you woke up and when you became conscious of this, this is your authentic moment to grasp this information, all right? And sometimes we are people, a lot of wanderers and starseeds are people who give and give and give because that's what we came here to do, right? And it's just so natural for us to give. From our other dimensional platforms or planets that we come from, there's a totally different subset of rules. You know, I know from where I come from, the 13th dimension, there is no lying. There is no need to front. There is no need to like create any illusion. It is what it is, and let's get it done. Let's move forward, right? Because what's the point of lying? That's a low vibration that doesn't even count anymore, right? And in a reality like that. And because of it, when I came to Earth and I was rebirthed on Earth, I was one of those really, really super yin people, like really female, like giving my heart to everyone and everyone stomping on that. And it wasn't until I realized, okay, I'm an alien from another dimension, and the rules in my home dimension are completely different than where the hell I'm at right now. Everyone over there is super conscious and they live under the same rules, the law of one, right? Everything's one. You want to treat everything the way you would want to be treated. You want to experience reality as you're experiencing yourself, the law of one, right? And you can check out that book on my Patreon. We're doing that on a book club meeting, or just read it on your own. It really just talk about the wanderers and how, you know, because we're on Earth and we forget our missions, and sometimes we wake up to it at a certain point than others. When we do become aware that we're star seeds, you need to own that. You need to authentically own that. Like, you are, if you know you're a starseed or you've ever felt like you're an alien in a human's body, own that. That is your authentic story. Stop telling yourself that you're a human. Stop telling yourself whatever. You're just a star being in a human's body. That is the most important portion of all of this right here. And then start authentically living, I'm an alien, having a human experience. What does that feel like? What does that authentically feel like? Okay, really own that. Bring that into every breath that you have, and then start understanding that because you're an alien that has a different culture and you volunteered to come here on vacation, right? That you cannot hold these beings that live on this dimensional platform by the same standards that we hold our people. It just doesn't make sense. It's like me living in America, going to Germany and being like, you guys gotta treat me the way Americans do. That doesn't make any sense, all right? This is Ascended Master Antojai. Authenticity, love you.